All right, so we have a phone call. All right, let's go to the phone and say who that.
Who that?
Hello, who that?
Who that?
Redneck.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, buddy?
Mr. Burns?
It's Billy Don.
Billy Don Burns, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go.
Mr. Billy Don Burns. Thank you so much, man. I tell you, this is a huge honor for me. I appreciate you giving us a call because I know you have a huge busy schedule in front of you, and thank you so much for joining us on the show, man.
You're too kind, man, and I'm glad to be on it. Thank you for having me, Redneck.
You know, it's truly our honor. And I was just going on and on about Mr. Waylon Jennings, who I know is a friend of, that family's a friend of yours, and that the old school country music, Waylon and Willie and Conway and those guys. But while I got you on the phone, real quick, if you would please say hello to a couple people who really love your music here that are in the studio with me. Wild Willie.
Wild Willie. Hello, Wild Willie.
How you doing?
Doing good, brother. They're hanging in there.
And the Gator.
Okay, we got the Gator here. How you doing, son?
Doing good, thank you, Gator. I'm doing good for an old bastard.
You know what, though? I'm right there with you, son, believe me.
So I'm real excited, man. I'm going to make everybody out there in Radio Land jealous. I have an autographed copy. Very first, right? Tell me I'm the first person you sent one to. Mr. Billy Don Burns' new CD.
Well, look at that.
Check that out, man.
That's for me, right?
Yeah.
Wild Willie.
I'm about to whip Willie over
Well,
here.
we're just going to have to get him sent some more autograph ones. Got to get one to the Gator.
The kid that produced that, Aaron Rodgers, he's a rock and roller, and I asked him why he wanted to produce my country ass, and he said, he said, man, I can feel your lyrics. He said, like no others, and that's him doing all that good guitar on there,
Well, here's the thing. The first thing I do when I pop open a CD is look at it. And when I opened it up, I saw Aaron Rodgers, and I was like, hang on a second, man. I know that name, I know that guitar, but I think it was from a different album. And I started looking through some of the other stuff I had, and I guess it was like maybe 10 years ago or so, there was a Waylon Jennings put out an album, and this is the kid that was on that album, right?
He played on Waylon's new one, the brand new one called Going Down Rockin'.
Yeah.
And the way that happened was we put the word out we needed musicians and didn't have no money, and everybody wanted to play on it, so Waylon's band came in and did one with me, and they heard him play, and he got to play on them. Waylon did some guitar vocals before he died, and they just now put that together and put it out. But it play on that album.
Because I was thinking this was like I had something from like from 2002 or something like that, or maybe 2008.
He was still in high school probably back then.
Oh, okay. Because I heard this name and I was, but the kid, he's great. He's great. Yeah. But what's great on here is what you're bringing through now. Is what people have been trying to impersonate for the past decade. I mean, you're bringing back, classic country music, man, with today's modern sound.
Thank you, brother. I don't think about getting a hit or nothing. I just want to get my music out there to as many people as I can before I belly up somewhere, And I hope that I belly up on my way to a gig, coming from one or going to one,
Well, here was my concern because when I was speaking to the people at Corbin Music and they were sending me this because I am prejudiced about what they do because they represent because they're so good at what they do. I was afraid that I was going to have to say I like something and be kind and not be sincere. Yeah. But I've listened to this so many times now that I can't stop listening to it. And let's do this, if you don't mind. Can you just go over the name? This is Billy Don Burns. It's your newest CD. It's Nights When I'm Sober, Portraits of a Honky Tonk Singer, right?
Right.
So let's go over who made this happen, who you're with on this, who's playing. So tell us about the CD and everything. Let's start there.
Well, when Aaron tried to run me down for a couple of years, and this buddy of mine kept telling me that he had a good little studio, so we called him and I went to the studio and we did a few numbers. He wanted to do it. We didn't have no money, so we put the word out that anybody wanted to play on it free, and there were so many we couldn't let everybody on it. Joey Floyd that plays with, he was one of the big happening acts, I forget, but we didn't get him on there, and he was a little upset, but we use Waylon's band. Of course, I knew Waylon and all those guys, and have worked with that band a lot, and they come in and did one. Jerry Lassender that wrote a bunch of #1 records, and great guitar player, he come in and did some with us. Clinton Gregory. I can't think of everybody right now. I don't have the album in front of me, but a lot of love in it. You know, everybody played free. Nobody got paid on that.
You know, it's because I'm looking at here, and I'm just going to read a few names off of here. You got Billy Don Burns, you got Aaron David Rogers, you got Kevin Swine.
Kevin is a big producer now. He produces Jamie Johnson, and he played in Waylon's band for a couple of years. He's a great player.
So
Cowboy Eddie Long. He plays with Jamie Johnson and Kid Rock both, and he's an old buddy of mine. It's all a bunch of friends is who it is. They're all friends, you know.
You know, it comes through like that, and I'm going to play a couple cuts. I'm going to keep you on here till the end of the hour if you'll let me, because I just love this. I love this, and it comes through as a bunch of friends, as a bunch of guys doing it for the love, you know. And I can name, like, I'm looking at the, you know, Honky Tonk Singer is great. Wouldn't have it any other way. Gaylord Creek Church, man, that takes me home every time I listen to it. I'm sorry, Gaylord Creek Church, and Aaron Rodgers and me. I mean,
Aaron, I wanted Aaron to write one with me, and he was a little intimidated. So I said, well, hell, I'll write one about him. So I wrote that, and of course he liked it.
So he's got to be playing guitar on that too, right?
Oh, yeah. Aaron's playing the guitar on all of them except It Would Kill Mama, and my buddy Jerry Lassender, he's playing on that one.
Now, It Would Kill Mama. Talk to me about, because I'm going to play that first. It Would Kill Mama. The writing process, did you write that? Did somebody else write it?
Well, no, I wrote all of them. That happens to be one that there's 3 writers on. Mac Vickery, who was a great writer, wrote Johnny Paychecks on Hell Mama Ever Raised, a bunch of big hits. If you want me to, I'll tell you the truth how that came to be. I was laying in Jerry Lasseter's floor, it's about 15 years ago, and I was shooting cocaine in my veins trying to kill myself at that time, and Earl Clark came and he asked Jerry, he said, what's Billy Don keep standing in the bathroom so long for? And Jerry said he's in there shooting up nowhere. Earl at that time was driving bus for Tanya Tucker. He drove for Waylon, and now he's written some hits. But Earl beat on the door and said, Billy Don, what would your mama do if she knew you was in there shooting up? And I said, hell, Earl would kill mama. He said, let's write it. So me and him and Matt wrote it.
Man, so you went from the floor to a hit song.
Yeah, and you don't by any chance have my Train Called Lonesome album, do you?
No, I don't, and I'm really kind of upset about that. But
there's a song on there called Hank Williams' Woman Was a Lot Like You, and Earl had to leave. He was driving Tanya to Vegas or somewhere that day, and Mac, I got around and left, and I went to Dixon, Tennessee, and checked in a cheap motel and wrote Hank Williams' Woman Was a Lot Like You, which is a really good tune too if you ever get a chance to hear it.
Well, you know, I'm really horrible about just playing everything that you have. Like if I go to iTunes or Reverb Nation, any way I can find your music, I've been playing it. And you know, when I DJ, I've been doing that. So I mean, I'm familiar with the song. I use it off the cloud. I don't have the CD, but I do have it lined up in my playlist on the internet. So I definitely will play that. If you want to start with that cut, we'll pull that up. But I have go ahead.
Go ahead and play the new album if you want to. I mean,
I'm gonna play the whole thing. I got a half hour.
All right, what are you gonna play?
So No, man. Listen, this is truly an honor, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the Gumbo YaYa radio show. We have country music legend, singer, songwriter Billy Don Burns here. We're about to play. We're gonna play a couple tunes by Billy Don. But real quick, Mr. Burns, if you don't mind, let's talk about who you're working with out there out of Texas at Corbin Music. Let's talk about them.
Well, like I say, I met Waylon way back in the early 70s and knew most of the family, I guess. And Terry Jennings, who is Waylon's firstborn, he's been a good friend, him and his wife, Deb. And they wanted to push some of my songs, so I let them, and it's been a good relationship. So Terry knew I needed some management, and so they signed me. I'm under management to Waylon Son Music, which is actually Terry, you know.
All right, so you're working with Terry Jennings, Waylon Son's Music, and which is Corbin Music, and they're out of Texas, right?
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because there's I think, is it some kind of state law that there has to be a Jennings in every county? There's more Jennings than there are stars in Texas, isn't there?
I don't know about that.
So yeah, they're that's here's the thing is I love Corbin Music and Mr. Jennings and what they do, because I guess being around it and being in the music industry so long, you have an ear and a knack for what's good and what's not good, and so I'm really proud of to be able to say that I've spoken with him. So
good people, they're really good people.
Yeah, they are, and I know that. I can't wait to hear, what comes next out of that, out of Corbin Music. But this is what I'm going to do now is I want to go ahead and play, if you don't mind, because see, I'm having a hard time figuring out my favorite song, and maybe you can help me out, because I know that It Would Kill Mama is when I hear that song, I was going to mention the Johnny Paycheck, Only Hell My Mama Raised, and me and Aaron Rodgers.
I used to work with Johnny.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he cut some of my songs, and if you'll go to YouTube and pull up his Chillicothe interview, that's me in the black cap with the yellow shirt walking with him when they show that part.
Man, you're everywhere, because I know you work with Hank Cochran, right?
Oh, me and Hank had a publishing company together called Hank and Me Music for about 6 or 7 years, yeah.
Uh-huh. And then I think Willie Nelson recorded some of your tunes, right?
Right, and my Heroes album, Willie and Hank are doing a song with me on there. I wrote a song about Patsy Cline, and Willie and Hank both recorded it with me in the studio.
Well, listen, here's the thing. I love your music, and people are just going to listen to me talk about how much I love your music. I'm just going to go right through, and I'm going to go ahead and start with It Would Kill Mama. And then, okay. Would you please stay on the line? And as soon as that's over, we'll come back and we'll play another tune, Aaron Rodgers or.
Absolutely.
All right. So for those of y'all that listen, It Would Kill Mama on here is cut number 7. This is Billy Don Burns off of his new CD, and this is Billy Don Burns, Nights When I'm Sober: The Portraits of a Honky Tonk Singer. So go ahead and pull that up, Neil. And Mr. Burns, do you mind holding?
Not at all.
Oh man, this is an honor. Thank you.
Totally.
All right, here we go.
Out with wild women, go down, runs deep in my blood. I drank too much whiskey, I'm aging faster than I'm growing up. I fight like a baby going down that won't go to sleep. It would kill mama if she could see me killing me. They call me the wild one, like Marlon Brando in some old picture show. Like a lone desert stallion, I'm ablaze in my trail as I go. I'm cranked up like a freight train, I'm a smoking and a blowing off steam. It would kill mama she could see me killing me. Bartender embalm me with sour mash whiskey in case I wake up alive. Hold on to my pistol, I'm dangerous when I'm out of my mind. Don't mean to hurt nobody, I'm not so far gone that I can't see. It would kill Mama if she could see me killing me. Bartender embalm me with sour mash whiskey in case I wake up alive. Hold on to my pistol, I'm dangerous when I'm out of my mind. Don't mean to hurt nobody, I'm not so far gone that I can't see. It would kill Mama if she could see me killing me. It would kill Mama if she could see me killing me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is Mr. Billy Don Burns, and this is the Rusty Knuckles label. Is that right, Billy Don? Rusty Knuckles?
Yeah, Rusty Knuckles is a great label. They're out of Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina, and Ralph, the CEO, he's got a great passion for music, and they're a good label. I'm proud to be associated with them.
Now, we were just talking off air, and I'm gonna look and see if I have this. But what was that song that you had mentioned off the last album you said was one of your favorites?
I Was There.
I Was There?
It's kind of, well, the way it came to be was the great Jimmy Day, one of the greatest musicians ever lived. Before he died, he got in Nashville and he called me and he said, I'm working with Ray Price and we're doing a thing out at TNN. He said, won't you come and get me and we'll spend the day together? So I did. Well, he told me to look for Ray's bus, and I did, and I got there, and the bus driver was Lynn Owsley, who used to play steel guitar for Ernest Tubb, and Lynn moved me in with him when I got to town, and I'd lost track of him after Ernest died. So I went back home that night and wrote I Was There, and it starts out about Lynn, and it just Porter put me on the Grand Ole Opry, and me and Johnny Paycheck on a Learjet flight one night, and it's kind of my life in the business. I was there.
Oh, okay. So you're flying around, you're hanging out with Ernest Tubb, right?
Right. I got to work with Ernest because of.
And you're flying. You're flying on the plane with Johnny Paycheck.
And Johnny flew on some Learjet.
All right, and your personal friend. You've written songs that Willie Nelson's recorded. You hang out with Hank Cochran, and you're friends with the Jennings family. Man, I tell you, listen, that is just speaking to you is a huge honor, because every one of those people are people that so many of us have looked up to and have admired and
I've been fortunate there, Redneck. I don't know how it all happened, but I've got to hang with some of the greatest in the business, and I don't know if you noticed on there, Billy Joe Schaefer wrote those liner notes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that because Billy Joe. I made a comment and on the Facebook, on the social media, and I said that one of the things I would love to do most is to meet the first love of my life, and no disrespect, all right, but is Miss Jessie Coulter. And I just I just her voice, and she's just so beautiful. And when you're a kid and you get a crush and you just can't shake it. Miss Jessie Coulter was and I said I would love to meet Jessie Coulter and shake Billy Joe Shaver's hand. And Mr. Jennings Terry said he'd probably crush it. But what did he write here? He said, "Friend forever, Billy Don is wise beyond his years. He's a great writer, a great man, a leader in all walks of life, the best man to have on your side, no matter how dangerous the situation." And that's Billy Joe Shaver saying that.
Yeah, Billy Joe, he's good, man.
Yeah,
some good words right there.
Yeah, so that's what about this album do you think is see, because I think that, you know, we had the pop country going on for so long, and there's still a little bit of that left, and so many people trying to get back to where country music, in my opinion, was and should be. What do you think about this album? Like, why is this just so compelling? I mean, is it what do you, I mean, how are you feeling? What are you feeling about this? Because I'm feeling great. But a lot of times artists, when they put something out, and I know this for a fact, you talk to them, they're not happy. They said, I could have done this better, I could have done that better.
I'm happy with it. Aaron and me, we gelled real good in the studio, and we basically got what we went after, you know, and it is what it is, you know, and we done it the way we wanted to do it, so.
Yeah, well, this is a great tune. I want to play some more stuff here because we only got a few minutes left. We got about 9 minutes left in the show, and I'm going to kick myself for not having you on for the whole show. So if people want to know, there's a song on here, "Born to Ride," about two guys on Harleys headed through you know, I guess California and Mexico, right?
That's a good one, yeah.
There's the Gaylor Creek Church, which is, man, there's so many on here that are great. Nights When I'm Sober.
Yeah, play that "Born to Ride" there.
All right, so we're gonna play "Born to Ride" here, and we got the phones ringing. Let's see who that is there. All right, so Neil, while you're doing that, do two things at once. Let's play "Born to Ride." Bring up cut number 5. Who's on the phone? Who is it? Hang on, Billy Don.
Bring him up.
Hello, who that?
It's Rod Black. How you doing, buddy?
Rod Black. Oh man, how you doing?
Rod, it's Gator. How you doing, buddy?
Are you listening to the show, Rod?
Awesome. For what?
Are you listening to the show?
No, dude, I can't have problems with something on the line here.
Oh, well, listen, Rod, I appreciate you calling in. Right now, we have Billy Don Burns on the line. He's on the show with us live right now, man. So,
wicked, dude.
What I'm going to do is, let me put you on hold, Rod. We're going to pull up a tune. I'm going to grab hold of you real quick, all right? Mr. Burns, this is, we're going to play "Born to Ride," Billy Don. And now, this is this from personal experience, or is this something that was relayed to you?
Well, it's a couple of buddies of mine. Benny Greasy, that was Bart Gilbert. He's dead now, and Johnny, we call him Johnny Rotten. He's out in California, and Bart was from New Jersey, but there's a lot of truth in it. And me and Johnny got in some trouble down in Mexico one time, and that's kind of, I put both of them in that song, you know.
All right, this is a great tune. So this is "Born to Ride," Billy Don Burns. And Mr. Burns, hang on, we'll be right with you. All right, y'all listen to this. "Born to Ride," Billy Don Burns.
One rode down to Jersey on an old panhead hog. The other rode a shovelhead and they met in Arkansas. Their engines roared like thunder. Both men rode alone, possed up together, took a western road. Crossed into Oklahoma, hit old Route 66. Johnny was a felon, Greasy had a heart to fix. Some were born to ride. Big old engine whine down the highway through the night. Into California like the Santa Ana winds, across the great Mojave Desert where Johnny once had been, where the dog could smell the kilos, where the feds had found the stash. where the tables turned against them, where they busted Johnny's ass. Their knees in the breeze and sun on Greasy's face. Panhead was his mistress now, and the Jersey girl replaced. Thunder, song we're born to ride. Feel engine whine down the highway through the night. Black and white, and Johnny knew that it was a CHP. Got on her tail in Victorville, out on the I-15. Greasy knew the feds would never take
all right. So ladies and gentlemen, that is a Born to Ride. That's one of the cuts off of Billy Don Burns' new CD called on the Rusty Knuckle labels, and it's called Nights When I'm Sober, the portrait of a... You there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honky Tonk Singer.
Honky Tonk Singer. All right. I was hoping you'd finish that for me, because so what we're doing here is we didn't play the whole thing. So if y'all want to hear the whole thing, you got to go to, what is it, Billy Don? But how are they going to find this music?
Well, I've got a website, www.billydonburnsofficial.com. Rusty Knuckles Records, they got one, and it's pretty well all over the internet, iTunes and all that stuff. You know?
All right, so if y'all check out Billy Don Burns, you can find this anywhere. And
CD Baby is another one.
CD Baby. And you are, I think, Corbin. You're working with Corbin Music out of Texas, right? That's
Terry Jennings and that bunch down there, yeah.
Right, Waylon Sun Records. And it's Corbin is Korban. Is that right?
I believe so. Don't have it in front of me. And
yeah, my
education's on the highway, you know.
That's it, man. I'm a Rhodes Scholar myself. So, and we were talking about how much we love the guitar and we love the, everything on here. So this is what we're going to do. This show automatically ends at 9 o'clock, whether we want to or not. So what I'm going to do, Mr. Burns, is I'm going to go out with Aaron Rodgers and me. And we're going to have the great guitarist, Aaron Rodgers and you, and we're going to play that song. Is there anybody that you want to mention, shout out to, because I'm going to let you go, and we're just going to end with this tune.
I just want to thank all the people that played on it, and Aaron for doing such a great job, and Terry Jennings and Dale and all those guys, Rusty Knuckle Records. They're all a big part of this, All
right, thank you, and my thanks to you and Mr. Jennings and Mr. Rod and everybody for making, for giving us this music and for joining us here on the Gumbo YaYa radio show. We're gonna go out with that tune. I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna end by saying, hug your friends, kiss your family, and thank the Lord. Mr. Billy Don Burns, ladies and gentlemen.
He was just a kid, I was twice his age. He had heard my music and he looked me up one day. He played the hell out of a Telecaster, don't you know? Next time that I left Nashville, he went with me and played guitar on the road. We played a lot of joints on the California coast. He said that Santa Barbara was the town that he liked most. But I know it wasn't that old town, it's the girl